to me, the haters tell me that what I'm doing has enough impact that you taking your time to hate on me. So therefore, it gives more value to my mission. That makes me fight harder. That makes me be better. So I welcome them. Show up. Let me know who you are, because that fuels me. I wouldn't be where I am today without them. Yeah. So that's why I said I move in silent, not because they're present, but because I'm a person of action.
Yes.
And it really, I don't have to put all my cards on the table and show you my car for you to show up and try to stop what I'm accomplishing. It's really about, you're going to hear about me through the grapevine because I am going to make noise.
Yeah. This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn, my goodness, and we pass it along. Tune in and listen to us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we give you our story with the Lively Art of Conversation. Hey, you know what time it is? Guess what? It is the end of the year. And guess what? I spent the end of the year with a very, very, very intelligent, brilliant, and beautiful woman. That's right. That's how I'm turning in the new year. So you guys are tuned into the Lively Art of Conversation. I am Dr. Rodney Duckett, your host. This is the place where we live, we learn, we earn, we pass it along. First of all, I'd like to say thank you guys for being with me for a whole year. I really do. It feels very great when I'm out in H-E-B, Target, Walmart, these places. They say, hey, man, I just heard you on the radio. It sounds very good. So I appreciate you. I appreciate some of the insights of how to make it better. I appreciate some of the input that you're giving me. And then also, some of you guys are feeding me some great guests that I'm going to have coming on 2026. But like I do with every show, I like to thank my underwriters for this whole 6-month journey that we've been on. Episode 35 is where we're at right now. This wouldn't be possible without my actual underwriters and the people that pay for commercials. So I do appreciate that. And if there's any way that I can improve to make it better or get you guys on the show again, or in fact, get you guys to underwrite again, I would love to have you guys do that. So at this time, I'd like to give a shout out to my underwriters.
This is Lavina Sabri with So Natural Catering and Bomb A Lemonade, and you're listening to the Lively Art of Conversation.
Hello. This is Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation. As we live, we learn, we earn, and we pass that wisdom along. Join us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we bring to you our story. You bring your story, we give you our story, and our story is how we engage in our community. Everybody has a story, and we're waiting to hear your story. So if you're interested, reach out to us at livelyartofconversation@gmail.com.
Looking to elevate your brand or capture unforgettable moments? New Image Media offers top-tier videography, photography, personal branding, and more. They combine creativity and quality with fair pricing and friendly service so you get the results you want. Whether it's a business promo or special occasion, they bring your vision to life with quality you can trust. Choose New Image Media, where your image is everything. For more info, email media@newimagemiallc.com. Words have power. They connect, heal, and inspire. That's the mission at Better Watch Your Tone, LLC, founded by Toni B. Shelton. She's empowering through powerful poetry and prose, with hundreds impacted through speaking events, workshops, and 8 self-published books. Ready to honor the story within? Discover books and coaching at betterwatchyourtone.com. For event poetry or book writing support, email ToniShelton@gmail.com. Let's use our words to uplift. Better watch your tone. You've built a life worth celebrating. Now it's time to be seen. At Las Foto de Lance Photography, they don't just take portraits, they capture the fire in your spirit and the power in your presence. Whether you're reclaiming your confidence, owning your story, or stepping into a new chapter, Las Foto de Lance Photography creates luxury images that reflect the real you. Visit lasfotodelance.net or drop by their Harker Heights studio. Las Foto de Lance Photography, unapologetically you, immortalized.
Hello, this is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Heritage Legacy Curators. You're looking for something for your kids to do this summer? Well, reach out to me at Impact Outreach, IMPAC Outreach @gmail. heritage.com, because Heritage Legacy Curators is all about collecting oral history. So if you have stories that you would love to pass down to your kids, or if you have a project that maybe your kids need to do as it relates to oral history, bring those family albums out and we'll sit there and we'll sort through those family albums, so that way we can collect those stories and keep those stories within the family, so that way they can be the next speakers to curate your family reunion. We're back with the lively art of the conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn all year long. We have been passing along the fruits of our labor to different people to make them great. I have a wonderful show for you today, like always pulling somebody great from the community. I plucked this precious little tropical fruit and I brought her in today to talk to us. But before I do anything like I always do, we got to do the word of the day. We got to do the quote of the week. And we also got to talk a little bit about what that means. So if you don't have a pen, paper, have your notepad open or anything like that, you are absolutely wrong at this time. Guys, ready? The word to close out this whole year is value. Now, let me tell you something about value. Value is a very versatile word for you guys that may not understand. Value is a noun and also a verb, meaning person, place, and thing has value in it, and meaning the action within itself, value, has value in whatever you do. So let me tell you this. Be valuable when you're available. That's a mouthful. How many of you guys are valuable when you're available? There's so much toxic energy that has led us in 2025. 2026, can we be more available and bring value to other people's lives? So let me hit you with this question. This is what I want to close the year off on. Are you diminishing your own value? A lot of times we are the blockers, the dams of our own value. I want you guys to open up the channel. That's right, the canal. And I want you to channel great value into other people. And I want you guys to stop diminishing your value as we lead into 2026, because you are valuable. You are valuable. And there's going to be a lot of people that's going to need you because of their availability. So please become that tree to give them great fruits. That's the word of the day. Now, with that being said, I told you I got a precious fruit here. And I've been tracking this young lady for years. And sometimes we're hit and miss when we see each other. But one thing she's guaranteed to give me is a beautiful smile, great advice, and she's always been valuable in my life. So this is the reason why I'm closing this show out with her. She is a value to our community, the things that she's done throughout the years. And most importantly, she's a veteran like me. And I appreciate her service to our great nation. A lot of times our veterans get frowned upon, in this day and age with everybody just going absolutely bonkers and crazy. And we talk more about the politicians, but not the boots on ground. And she's definitely boots on ground. She still continues to service our veterans. Service to the many always leads to greatness. And ladies and gentlemen, with me today, I have the greatest one of them all with me here today. I'm going to butcher her name. Eleny Guerrero is who I have. Yeah,
I should have said it right.
I did. I have passed my Spanish course. Yes. Sweetheart, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today.
No, it is a pleasure to have you on the show with me today. You're one of the people that I admire in the community. The beautiful thing about you is you do less explanation and more execution.
Absolutely.
And that's why I like you.
Sometimes you got to move in silence.
That is absolutely right. Silence is a key to make things great all around you, because when you are silent, people don't know your next move.
Absolutely. And kind of touching up on the point of value, sometimes I see myself very different than others just because I speak Spanish or I have an accent. I'm a woman of color. I'm a veteran. There's all this stuff that really makes me different. And sometimes it's hard to be in the spotlight, right? It's hard to be okay with people shining in on how much stuff you've done. But to me, value comes in the value that I give to others. Yes. That includes my clients. So if I change one person's life for something that I did or a session that we've done with them, that to me is valuable. That to me, value is shown in so many different types of ways. And it doesn't have to be always shine on me.
Yeah.
It's really about them.
Yeah, but the beauty about you, and I feel that I know you somewhat personally. We've talked before. You really care about people directly, indirectly, and I've seen that with a lot of your action. You are actually a verb itself. You're an action. You're not a person that stands still and explain. You're always out there doing your best to make our community great. And I want to be first to give you your flowers. Officially,
Thank
I don't
you.
have any flowers to give you, but metaphorically, I'm going to give you some flowers. But let's do this, Ms. Guerrero. Let's do this right here. All right, I'm working on my Spanish. Don't y'all talk bad about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about the genesis of where you started and how you got to the position that you are.
That's a great question. So, in a general sense, a person with lived experience. I had dealt, being Hispanic, even in the brown community in general, we shove all our feelings under the rug. We don't talk about them. So that created an environment where I didn't feel comfortable even talking to people or even being myself. And then you transition to that. I came to the United States as an immigrant, not speaking a word of English, but hi. And I'm a teenager, and I had to fit in some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Right after that, I joined the military as a woman of color who spoke very little English. Yeah. And then from there, I went into law enforcement, and it was hard being in a profession that was led by men, being a woman, and I always felt like I was in a position where I had to prove myself.
Well, hold on one second. Now, see, this is why I love this show, because you always find this continuity of service. So you were in law enforcement. You never told me that.
I mean,
my goodness. Dude, tell me about that experience. Okay, being an immigrant, coming to this country, not knowing any English, learning English along the way, being in the service, and now you're doing law enforcement afterwards?
Well, in the criminal justice field in general.
Okay, got you.
Law enforcement, I done federal security, I done just different aspect of the field, but it's really a dead field that is really led by many political views. So I really wanted to pave my own way and to get back to the people and being able to help them rather than just telling them what to do all the time, which doesn't sit well with me, being that I feel so, I guess, out of the box, already so irrelevant to people. I really wanted to make a difference by being able to help in them.
Wow. Well, so give me your educational background. What do you do for a living?
Great question. When you say So I am a licensed professional counselor, but I'm also a licensed chemical dependency counselor. So I graduated from Texas A&M here in Killeen in 2020. While I was going to grad school, I also held the chemical dependency license. So I was already practicing while I was in school. But this all happened with a lot of turmoil. I was going through a nasty divorce, and I was really trying to tap into how do I show up for my clients when I also need the help, right? So I've been in the field for about 8 years. And I have worked in many different settings. I worked in prison settings, rehab centers, outpatient, and I've been in private practice for the last 3 years.
Wow. I mean, you really said something that was very heartfelt, and I want to go back. Sometimes we're constantly finding ourselves pouring from an empty container into other people. It's so amazing when, like, the Creator God gives you a gift, and your gift is being used to be given away to others. But meanwhile, you need to be replenished yourself. How was that journey for you, if you don't mind me asking?
It was rough. I'm going to be honest. It was really rough. But I had to really look deep into what my purpose in this field was. I wanted to help other people that were going through something similar. And when I say nasty divorce, it's not meant from the other person, but being a military spouse is hard already.
Yes.
And sometimes there's a lack of knowledge of what your spouse might be going through or what your friends might be going through after losing so many friends in the military, either through suicide or at war. It hits you differently. You want to do something to change it, and you don't know what to do. And that's where I guess the seed was planted for me. Wow. How do I help the people that I love, my friends, but also myself?
Wow. So that would you say that was a spark into your chemical dependency to get that certification, that degree? Seeing other people, being addicted to certain type of polysubstance, or
to be honest, the chemical dependency licensing was the gateway to lead me into the bigger license that I was going to school for.
Okay.
I wanted to already help people in the process of me learning how to be a licensed professional counselor, which is a broader licensing. And because I already had a bachelor's degree in criminal justice with a minor in psychology, I qualified to get for that license. So it was like an opportunity that I took to really sharpen my skills, for lack of better terms.
So how long did you serve in the military?
I did 4 years active, 3 years was in the reserves, and my last year was inactive, so about 7.5.
7.5 years. How was that experience for you?
Woo. Listen, I was a cook, so I didn't love the job. Somebody had to do it, right? So I was one of those people that you had to be nice to.
I could see that.
Right?
I could see that.
But I worked every weekend. I worked every holiday. And I was a single woman in Kansas out of all the places.
Oh, Lord,
I never seen a deer in my life. And I was like, where am I? So it was culturally shocking for me to really be in a space where I didn't fit in once again.
Yes.
Yeah, it was rough. And I deployed twice, back in OIF 1 and OIF 3. So when the war first kicked off in Iraq, and I saw a lot of stuff, and it changes you.
Yeah, it does. And again, flowers are being given to you. When she said cook, a lot of people look at that as, okay, she was a cook. No, that is the hardest job in the military. I'm telling you, that is the hardest job in the military, believe it or not. Cooks, military police, and even people that work in the hospital, because those are the jobs that are open 24 hours
and
a
supply
day.
too.
Oh, supply. Yeah, can't forget supply. My Yankees and Alphas, they're probably mad at me right now. So, yeah, these are some very difficult jobs. This is what you call the lifeline of the military. Infantry guys get out and do their thing. Hats off to our infantry, what they do. But without these guys supplying them, man, our fight, trust me, go without water and food and rations for a while, and you'll find out how quickly you win the war. There's a war trying to get these supplies out to these soldiers and these cops and these FOBs. And I appreciate the work that you've done. And I've always told cooks, myself working with veteran, any cooks that I get, I always give them their flowers because, man, you kept me fed. And some of those meals, man, during the holidays, being deployed, man, they were
everything.
They were everything.
Yes.
Mental health wise, everything. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So let's do this for a little bit. Let's do this for a little bit. Military, but I want to go back. Where exactly are you from?
Dominican Republic. I was born and raised there. Spanish is my first language.
Okay, I heard it's a very beautiful island.
It is. It is, has its challenges, of course.
Yeah, like everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you often go back home, see family, or?
So the answer is no.
No, okay.
And but that has a lot to do with my grandmother passed when I was younger.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to go back home without her being there.
Yes.
But I am going for New Year's. 2 days after this airs, I'm going to be in Dominican Republic.
My goodness. See how she do? She's going home, not even taking Dr. Rodney Duckett. I need a vacation too. Now, you have a wonderful, wonderful trip. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to transition to some commercials. This is Dr. Rodney Duckett, and you're listening to The Lively Art of Conversation.
Words have power. They connect, heal, and inspire. That's the mission at Better Watch Your Tone, LLC, founded by Toni B. Shelton. She's empowering through powerful poetry and prose, with hundreds impacted through speaking events, workshops, and 8 self-published books. Ready to honor the story within? Discover books and coaching at betterwatchyourtone.com. For event poetry or book writing support, email ToniShelton@gmail.com. Let's use our words to uplift. Better watch your tone. You've built a life worth celebrating. Now it's time to be seen. At Las Foto de Lance Photography, they don't just take portraits, they capture the fire in your spirit and the power in your presence. Whether you're reclaiming your confidence, owning your story, or stepping into a new chapter, Las Foto de Lance Photography creates luxury images that reflect the real you. Visit lasfotodelance.net or drop by their Harker Heights studio. Las Foto de Lance Photography, unapologetically you, immortalized. Looking to elevate your brand or capture unforgettable moments? New Image Media offers top-tier videography, photography, personal branding, and more. They combine creativity and quality with fair pricing and friendly service so you get the results you want. Whether it's a business promo or special occasion, they bring your vision to life with quality you can trust. Choose New Image Media, where your image is everything. For more info, email media@newimagemiallc.com.
This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Heritage Legacy Curators. You're looking for something for your kids to do this summer? Well, reach out to me at Impact Outreach, IMPAC outreach @gmail.com, because Heritage Legacy Curators is all about collecting oral history. So if you have stories that you would love to pass down to your kids, or if you have a project that maybe your kids need to do as it relates to oral history, bring those family albums out and we'll sit there and we'll sort through those family albums, so that way we can collect those stories and keep those stories within the family, so that way they can be the next speakers to curate your family reunion. Hey, we're back with the lively art of conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn, we pass along. I'm here with that action word right now, value. I'm here with a woman that has nothing but value all to her background. Immigrant to the United States, but she has flourished to do great things. We're living in a time right now where there is a lot of noise as it surrounds immigration. A lot of noise. And I'm looking at the path that you have charted for yourself. You could have came to this country to do anything, but you came to this country to serve, number one. So that makes you a veteran, and they give you seats above people in my perspective. But then number two, you still continuously serve our veterans, and that puts you in a super special place, because there's people that are so patriotic, but they do nothing for the veterans, but they love their patriotism. But you are definitely from another island. Now you're American, and now you're still supporting our veterans and our troops with some of the issues and concerns that they have. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, to kind of to the point that I made earlier. I feel different, and I know that it feels great to see someone that looks like me, that has gone through similar stories like me. I know the veterans I have seen, they really value the fact that I might not have been in their shoes, but I understand what it feels like from a veteran perspective, and also from a military spouse perspective. And it brings a lot of value to them. They feel seen and heard. And it's hard because veterans have a lot of trust issues.
Yes.
So I totally get that. So seeing someone that looks like them makes a huge difference for them and their families.
Yes, and you're 100% right. And I want to also shine another spotlight on you, because you said this a couple of times. You are a spouse of a veteran as well too. And again, I would say former spouse. Okay, I'm putting it out there. All you men out there, former. Okay, that you're listening. You're like, who is this woman? She is former spouse. But that is another hard job to do in the military, and spouses don't get enough recognition of what it is. Let me explain this to you, and if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. Imagine you being at home with the person that you love so much, and all of a sudden they get these things called orders and deployment, and your husband or wife is ripped from your very arms for 2 years, and you got to figure it out all by yourself with no communication from your other. That is a very difficult thing to do. And these women hold it down. They hold the family down. They hold the husband down. They hold the kids down. and they make it work. So hats off to all of my military spouses, male or females, that are out there that right now their husbands deployed. There's a big deployment that just happened just recently. So you guys are loved. Whatever we can do for you in this community, just reach out to me, livelyartofconversation@gmail.com. I'll put you in contact with some resources. If not, I got the resource machine right beside me. Yes. Yeah. So let's go back to your journey into the Dominican Republic, coming into the United States, getting your degrees, doing all the wonderful things that you have done. But let's talk about this new path that you're on. You have your own business.
Yes. So my practice name is Courage to Overcome Counseling. Oh. So I picked that name because it takes courage to really accept help, to really say there's something wrong with me and I need to work on it, right? And know that courage is not the absence of fear, but rather that you're overcoming something, right? It's getting up and choosing to do something and doing it anyways.
Yes. So would you say that's your motto that you live your life by?
Yes. When I did for my practice, I wanted to create a culture that it was not cookie cutter, that it was really where the client, it fits their needs, and that I get to choose how our team is moved, the cohesion that we have, the passion that we have. So I was very carefully picked my team. Shout out to them too. They're amazing. All the way from my administrative team to my other therapists in my team. We are like a puzzle piece, and together, we are a force to reckon with, to be honest. And with the help I even have right now, and I know I'm kind of veering a little off from your question, I'm mentoring some interns from school too. So it's like 360 for me. Wow. So being able to really like help and educate and mold the new therapist is like so heartwarming for me, and it really speaks to my heart because now I'm giving back. They're providing pro bono services to this community that I'm really trying to help, and I would tell you a little bit more about a program that I started too.
Yeah, please, by all means, you have the mic.
Oh, okay.
Go right ahead.
So in June, the Innovation Chamber of Commerce of Killeen, the Black Chamber of Commerce, I received a grant from them.
Awesome.
So shout out to them. Thank you so much. But if people like them are really what makes this program really get started off the ground. So the program is called Healing Without Barriers.
Healing Without Barriers. Okay.
Yeah, and it really helps. I have different type of clients that I help. And it's people that are dealing with chronic homelessness. It's people that are dealing with immigration stress. Individuals that are dealing with judicial inequalities and racial injustice. Mm-hmm. And also like sexual trauma victims and the armed forces veterans too. So I know that that's a wide population and everybody has their hands on them. However, I am trying to collaborate with some of those people that already have something in the ground to provide them the extra services that we have. And all those services are free to them. And I am the one that supervises this program through the interns that are coming from grad school. So it's like a system that this grant really helped me get off the ground and to really serve back to those that look like us, to really give back to people that don't have these resources given to them. And now with everything that's going on in the world, we know the world is on fire outside of us. Yeah. There's just a lot of fear about even seeking help because they just feel like something's going to be taken away from them, either their immigration status or whatever they said about whatever's going on in the world in general is going to be used against them. Yeah. So I really have worked really hard to create that space for them. Yeah. To where they feel heard and seen, and it's a safe space for them.
Yeah, that's amazing because, a sanctuary for people to come to receive services that they need is really, really great. And that's something that we lack here, and shouts out to Innovative Black Chamber of Commerce for seeing the value in you and also investing in what you're doing, because that is great work. There's like service to the many leads to greatness, and there's a lot of service that needs to happen within our community, within our state, within our nation. And it's programs like your program is what makes America great. You know, it really does. It makes America great. And I'm not trying to make a slogan or nothing like that to make anybody mad out there. But, you know, I want to make America great, you know, and that's what we want to do. But it is people like yourself out there doing this work that, you know, people sometimes don't necessarily recognize and realize. So let's you talked about a little bit of what you earned. You earned the favor through Innovative Black Chamber of Commerce to give you this grant. What other accolades or grants have you earned along the way?
I would tell you grants itself, I have received smaller ones from different organizations, but it's really what I gain is a lot of wisdom as a leader. And I know that has a whole different type of value. Running your own private practice is not for the weak. It really takes a lot of leadership, and you have to put a mirror to yourself to say, how am I showing up as a leader when I'm leading others? Others that are going to imitate or assimilate some of the stuff that you're already doing. How do I show up my best self while I'm still taking care of my own clients, while I'm also taking care of my own mental health, while I'm also being a mother, while I'm also being everything for everybody, right? So it really, there were some challenges, of course, and along the way, but I have learned that there's really, growth happens whenever you pivot. I used to see things in the past as when something didn't go my way, I would see it as a failure. And that comes from, it's an immigrant mentality. You got to make it to the American dream, right? So it's not a failure. You pivot, you learn, and you make it better. And then you teach those along the way some of the struggles that they might have so that they could pass along and carry on the mission and the vision that you have. It's really not about me. It's really, this is bigger than me. I'm just really laying the foundation right now for others to really pass it along.
And I'm glad you use that word foundation. That's a word that's near and dear to me. You know, exactly what a foundation is and how a foundation is so important. You know, our houses would be nothing without a foundation, really, if you really think about it. I mean, you can all the glitz and glamour and the carpet and the wood floors and the ceiling fans mean nothing without a sturdy foundation. And the mere fact that a foundation is being supplied for other people to build their foundation really means a lot. And I think when you're building generational wealth, you have to start with your founding fathers in your family, you know, our founding mothers as well too, you know, because it goes back to that foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So pivot, what you use that word pivot, that's a very powerful word. Explain a little bit more about the pivot.
So if I'm being completely transparent, my team gave me that word.
Oh, okay.
My team, because I show up truly as myself with them. They have been supportive of me even through struggles in private practice. And they looked at me and says, we're not failing, we're just pivoting. Yes. And that stuck with me. And I'm choosing to learn from them because they teach me stuff every day. So being in a leadership position, I'm choosing to remain humble and remain a student because I learn a lot from them too, as I teach them stuff too.
I like the way that you wordplayed on that. I've been very big here the last couple of years of monitoring the words that come into me, like words like failure or failed or let down. You know, they just sound like very depressing words, and word pivot just sounds like a happy word. And that's the vocabulary that I give a lot of the kids because, you know, you can curse someone with the poison that comes out of your mouth. You know, your team could have cursed you, but they actually put something beautiful inside you, a pivot, a shift. You know, not a failure, but a pivot, a shift. And that's a very powerful word, very positive word to use. And I really like that. Yeah. So, I mean, you're hearing it here on the Lively Art of Conversation. I want to say this right now. 2026 is coming up, and we got to change the way we speak to ourselves. Absolutely. No more failure. You heard it. You heard it here. from the beautiful Dominican immigrant leader in our country. She says, pivot, no more failure. We're going to pivot. I love that word. Be careful with the words that you spew out of your mouth. I hear it so much. I'm fat. I'm ugly. Those are terrible words. Just say, I'm a work in progress.
Absolutely.
I'm developing. I'm pivoting, and become that foundation. We've got to make our foundation stronger. Yeah. Give me some more positive words that you got there.
But it really goes back to speaking the influence that your community has in you, right?
Yes.
And who we surround ourselves with. Healing is not meant to be done by yourself. It takes a lot of community. My team is my community too.
Yes.
I try to network and do all this other stuff, but it's really about the community and the people you surround yourself with. Because at the end of it all, if you hear every day that you're fat, you're going to start believing it too.
Yes.
But if you hear that you're great, guess what? You're going to start believing it sooner or later too.
Yes.
So it's really about who we surround ourselves with and really making sure that we're choosing those people properly.
And you heard it. Like, I'm telling you, when I told you a woman of value is with us today, I'm telling you a woman of value is with us today. These words that you use constantly starting off in 2026 is very, very important. I'm not saying that you can't slip and make an accident and say, but you got to come back and correct those words. You got to reinforce yourself. So one of the things that we both know, because I've been down this rabbit hole before, is 2026 is coming up, and we say we're going to lose all this weight. We're going to lose all this weight. And by the second week, man, we back on the couch. You know, so what I want you guys to do is pivot. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to lose a whole bunch of weight. I want you to be healthy for the whole 2026. So guess what that means? I want you to get up and pivot. I want you to get up and walk. If you missed the gym one day, go back and spend an extra 30 minutes at the gym the next day. I don't want you to say, well, I didn't make it. I got to start over again Monday. No, do something. Do push-ups in between commercials or sit-ups. Do something. Go walk the dog. Do something in 2026. There is no more room for that F word, okay? There is no more room for ugly. There's no more room for that other F word, fat. You know, we are going to pivot in 2026. This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation, and we'll be right back. We're back with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn. My goodness, we pass along. 2026 is right around the corner. If you have not reached out to me and you got an event or you got a show that's coming up, I am dead serious on this one. You need to reach out to me soon, because my 2026 is booked to March. All right, it's booked to March. Okay, so I need for you guys to reach out. If you're interested in being an underwriter, hit me up for underwriter opportunities. If you got some commercials, hit me up for some commercials that's there. If you're nonprofit, I got special good things for you nonprofits that's out there. Lively Art of Conversation at gmail.com. And we are back. I don't even know how to say this. I feel valued right now. I feel valued right now because I have this wonderful, this brilliant, this beautiful woman that's in the studio just dropping jewels today. And we talked about fitness and the importance of fitness. But one thing that we always sometimes miss out is man's fitness, male fitness. Mm-hmm. What does that look like? 'Cause I know you have a lot of male clients.
I do. And I'm going to pivot.
Okay.
On
pivot.
purpose.
Yes.
That it's not always about physical health.
Oh, come on.
It's men in general, especially Black men. You're taught not to cry. You're taught that if you're too loud, you're dangerous. If you show up in a certain way, you are seen as non-reliant. You're not going to be there for your kids. You're just a threat, right? So we need to put emphasis on your mental health too, because your mental health does matter. Not just the men, but everybody's mental health matter. But as a man, you are the foundation once again to your household. And when your foundation is rocky, so will be the people that live in it. So I think as 2026 starts and we put emphasis on our bodies, your mental health has to be in the top priority too. I do feel because we don't see it and people cannot compliment you on it, we tend to put it on the sidelines. But there's nothing more attractive or even, I don't even know how to put it, but there's nothing more outgoing in a way that a man or woman that knows how to speak themselves, that knows how to talk their emotions, that knows how to have conversations, that put their children or their wives or first, was able to have a conversation without feeling defensive or without allowing the weight of the world to really weigh on them, which I know that's hard to do, but just know that they don't have to do it alone.
Yeah, that's very powerful talk right there. You know, and it's coming from a woman too, and a very respected woman in our community. Like, you don't have to wear the weight of the world that's on you, man. We talked about physical health, but mental health supersedes physical health any day. You got to be in the right frame of mind to just do anything every morning. You know, how much time are you spending with yourself? You know, don't say I don't have enough time to spend with myself, because that's a cop-out. Are you giving you? I have a rule that I've done, and it's in my book that's coming out next year, by the way. Is like I give myself the 5-16, and I call it the 5-16 for a specific reason. I give myself 5 minutes alone by myself in the morning to conquer 16 hours of the day. It's very important, and people laugh at me, but they was like, yeah, because sometimes really all I do is have 5 minutes. And that it goes back to that quality time, that valuable quality time, you know, to give to myself. So I'm glad that you reiterated that. Or do you have any type of things that you do to prep yourself for your day or your week or your month?
There's pockets in my day that I make sure that I'm intentional. And it could be something as small as like I get up and I plant my feet in the ground when I get up and I stretch. And it sounds very minimal. But once I plant my feet in the ground, I know I'm alive.
Yes.
I know that I'm going to conquer another day. And I'm choosing to do it with a mindset that I'm moving forward in a positive mindset. In the shower, there's so many stuff you could do in the shower. Your 5 senses. You could just literally take a mindful shower.
Yes.
It works a lot for like busy mothers who their kids are always on them and that's all they have. But you got to put you first at times too. The world is almost really demanding of your attention, of your time, of your money. Yeah. That we forget how am I putting my own self in my own schedule.
Yeah, and that's true. You know, I mean, I don't want to get into talking about my book because people be out there stealing my stuff. But I will say that, you know, time is of the essence with everything that you do. Is very, very important that you honor your time. And I'm learning this a little bit more as I begin to get older. I'm creeping up on retirement. A lot of, yes, believe it or not, a lot of things are shifting in my life. I'm pivoting myself. So I'm very cautious now about who and what I give my time to. Because before I would just give my time to anybody if I felt that I can help them. But sometimes you really carry their weight with you. You really do. And I truly believe, and I'm in the business of helping people. My program's been in the detention center for 20 years. I've been working in healthcare for 30 years. But I really do believe that you cannot help everybody. I really do believe that. I do believe that, as she says, being grounded, planting your feet. I think I'm in the business of being a tree. And if I'm a tree, people can come pick fruit if they choose. If they don't, there's more fruit for the next person to pick. The one thing that I know for sure, I've never seen a tree go to the grocery store and shake his fruit off. So if you want the fruit, you got to come, you know, and that goes back to the life coaching and stuff that I do. I'm no longer looking for clients. If people are interested in being coached, I'll meet you. But, you know, it is my time that I'm available is valuable, and it comes with a price tag.
And it's also by teaching others how to be that person. You can't be the only tree in the forest. If you teach others how to be this grounding root, then they will teach others, and it will go from generations, right? Yes.
I want to hit you with this. I think I've asked a couple of people on my show, young ladies and men that I respect. Let's talk about those toxic negative people that somehow circumvent themselves around our lives. How do you deal with the haters that's out there? You know, the people that just hate on you. And believe it or not, you can be immune to it, but every now and then, just like a cold, it just breaks through that barrier and it gets you sick. How do you deal with those haters?
I actually like them.
Oh, okay.
Because
Talk
to
me.
me, the haters tell me that what I'm doing has enough impact that you taking your time to hate on me. So therefore, it gives more value to my mission. That makes me fight harder. That makes me be better. So I welcome them. Show up. Let me know who you are, because that fuels me. I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I move in silent, not because they're present, but because I'm a person of action.
Yes.
And
yes.
it really, I don't have to put all my cards on the table and show you my car for you to show up and try to stop what I'm accomplishing. It's really about, you're going to hear about me through the grapevine because I am going to make noise.
Yes.
And I want you to hate on me because you're giving me a platform that is bigger than myself. So why not?
Yeah, you know, that's a different twist on it. I actually like that. My thing is, it's very similar to you. I've come a little bit immune to what people have said, and even wrapping this up in 2026, a lot of chatter about the show and what we stand for, and people that's just out there hating. And I'm not gonna mention no names. I don't want to be petty. Like I can, I but I'm not gonna do that. My mama raised me to be better than that. Hi, Mom. So, but what I will say is, thank you. Thank you for not believing in me. Thank you for not supporting me. And just thank you in general for keeping my name alive, because everybody that you speak negative to about me, when they finally meet me and they see me, if it's in the community or if it's with that white coat on in the emergency room, you know what? They see the very best version of myself and they always apologize. So thank you. Keep hating me so that way I can prove you wrong, everybody that's out there. I'm not going to name drop somebody or a few people or half the community, but I will say that. And the people that, I don't have a circle, I have a dot. And if you hear me say dot, you know who I'm talking about. I have dots in my life, and, you know,
Same.
and it's very, very small. You're part of my dot, you know, so
Okay.
yeah. This lady back here is part of my dot. Yeah,
Whoop, whoop, we
she's
made
back
it.
here. Yes, she's part of my dot. Yeah, y'all leave my videographer alone. My videographer is dope. She's always supported me in everything that I do, you know, so I really do appreciate the good work that she's done and what she does in the community. So y'all leave her alone. You know, maybe y'all should be more supportive and do what you say you're going to do. So, but anyhow, I'll leave that alone. Mama, I'm sorry. So, but oh my God, I'm going to get some feedback on that one. Oh,
And that's the whole point,
yes.
because you want them to have feedback. That is what it's all about. It's really about making a change. Change would not happen if we didn't have opposing views.
That's true. Yeah, we have to have opposing views. I'll say this in 2026, you know, I really appreciate the great work that's happening in the community, you know, with yourself and different people that are out there doing work. And sometimes I might not see eye to eye with people, but the work is necessary. And I'm a work in progress like everybody else. And I'm hoping in 2026, with everything that's going on, that somehow we can put our works together and really, really make our community shine, because there are people that are doing great work that's here. And I'll be the first one to bear my sword to anybody that wants to come out and do great work. But enough of that. As we get ready to wrap up this show, you know, I like those messages that we pass along the way. And you've given us a couple of messages. But is there anything specific that you would like to pass down to someone that's listening? Someone that may or may be on the fence of, can I do it? Can I not do it? You know, someone that's just on the edge. What would you tell them?
Do it anyways.
Okay.
Because sometimes we're scared. Sometimes facing our trauma is scary. And that's where the courage comes in. Change will not happen unless you put your first foot forward. I know you're going to be scared, but we're here to help you. We're here to really support that fear of yours. And you don't have to do it alone. That's really what it comes down to. Seek change within yourself.
Yes.
Nothing's going to change unless you do something about it. And you can't complain about how the world is treating you when you're doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Yes.
So be better, do better, and just be kind, but really show up for yourself in different types of ways. And yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, to steal a quote from Sinners, let's be kind to one another. Mm-hmm. And I really think that we should be kind to one another. I will say this, and you know just as well as I do, because our line of work really kind of coincides with each other. There's a lot of people in our community that is suffering yes. at a very high level. She sees it, I see it, and I'm really, really mean this in 2026. Before you open up your mouth and spew your toxicity, be very extremely careful, because there are some people that are on the edge, and what they need is just a little bit of support from you.
Sometimes it's mild too.
Yeah. Yes. It is. It is very, very mild. What's going on with people. So, I mean, anything you want to say to that?
Yes. Just you never know what people are going through, but I know this is kind of off of what we're mentioning, but I do want to emphasize to people that it's okay to be different.
It is.
I feel like I'm the only one that has dealt with it. I'm the only one that has dealt with a sexual trauma, or I'm the only one that looks this way or feels this way. Seek help, but it's okay for you to be different. That's where your shine really lays too.
Yeah, it does. It is okay to be different. It's okay to be different, and we should stop attacking anybody that moves differently than us. We got to understand their journey. I laugh at people sometimes. They talk bad about people, but then when you ask them who their favorite artist is or whatever, they'll say like Prince, and I'm like, oh my God, he's about as different as they come.
Right.
Prince, Rodgers and Nelson, but you can't look at this person that might be slightly different. So like if someone is different, just get to know them. Our job in this community is to make the next person better than us, that we should be pouring into people, so that way they can pour into other people. And sometimes things are a work in progress. I do believe when you plant a seed in the ground, it's got to be conducive for growth. So sometimes you might be planting and you don't see anything, but it's okay to cultivate and nourish that mind of that person. Just telling someone that they're great and beautiful doesn't mean anything, but showing up for them at an event that they went to put their hard-earned money in to give you their expertise means a whole lot. So show up and support and be there. And most importantly, what I want to say is just, in this community, just understand we all we got.
Yep.
Ain't nobody coming to save us. We all we got. So since we all we got to do our best to make sure that everybody's taken care of. So with that being said, tell me if somebody wants to get in contact with you or somebody wants to utilize your services, how do they go about doing that?
Thank you. Again, the name is Courage number 2 Overcome Counseling, and it's www.courage, COURAGE, number 2, overcome.com. And the phone number is 512-931-1146. We do have 2 locations. We have our main offices in Austin, but we also have a remote location that we use on the weekends in Belton.
Okay. Is there any books or anything you got out there?
I don't have any books yet. It is in my to-do list in 2026.
We're going to be competing.
But essentially, I just encourage your loved one to just seek help. It's really not necessarily about me. It's about how you show up for other people. So I could give you a book, but 1,000 people got the same book. So in reality, as long as you get help, I changed lives, and that's all that matters to me too. So
well, I thank you for the service that you provide to our community. Once again, I hand you your flowers for being a veteran, for being the spouse of a former veteran, and or former spouse of a veteran, and then also the service that you're still providing for our community as a social worker, as a therapist that's out there, and the things that you're doing, because it's really, really needed. And I like to give a shout out right now to all our therapists, psychologists, social workers, counselors, everybody that's out there. These are the people that they do not get paid what they deserve. I mean, I really mean that. They do not get paid what they deserve. And I work alongside some of the greatest in my emergency department. They do some phenomenal work helping out our veterans, and even sometimes helping me out in the community when I go begging to them. Shout out to Miss Z, you know who I'm talking about, and Miss Charlotte and Miss Carla. Thank you guys for always being out in the community, and thank you. You've been out in the community multiple times with Dr. Jennings. I've seen you do stuff. You've done stuff with me with the stabbing in Colleen. So I appreciate you. You are by far that flower. So thank you. Yeah.
I did want to mention one last thing. We do provide services in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And we also are doing pro bono psychological evaluations for immigration cases.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you just now heard it on the Lively Art of Conversation as we wrap up 2026. It's right around the corner. Let's be kind to one another. Let's monitor the poison, the toxicity that we spew out of our mouth. But most important, let's spend some time with ourselves and begin to work on ourselves. And as the great one says right beside me, let's pivot. No more failure. Let's just pivot and shift. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a very blessed and happy new year. This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn. Miss Guerrero just passed it along. Thank you, guys.